What is going on, everybody? Happy Thanksgiving. This is 10 days of Black Friday on Sold Separately. We've got all kinds of discounts for you that you don't even need a coupon for. And I've got the most esteemed co-host in the business hanging with me, Anthony Ricciardi. What's going on, Anthony?
Hey, how you doing, Clark? This is always fun to do this show, but to offer the collectors a possibility to save some money with the collection, always fun to do.
Now we are talking. Let's get into some discounts, though. We got a
hmm
sweet chart
Yeah.
for everybody. How about that? Shout out Ben for the graphic, right? He did that, or did you do this?
No, I took that from Pro Wrestling Tees.
Oh, even
Uh,
better.
yes, that is from Pro
Oh,
Wrestling Tees.
photo credit
Yes,
Pro Wrestling
yes.
Tees. Thanks,
Uh,
PWTs.
yes. So, as you can see from the graphic, there's tons of savings, no coupon codes needed, 60% off autographs, 55% PSA cards, 50% that's AEW figures, 45% micro brawlers, 40% posters, 35% clearance items that were probably already discounted to begin
It's like
with.
double clearance.
Yeah, 30% off DVDs and Blu-rays, 25% off of AEW, Ring of Honor, New Japan shirts, and 20% off of literally everything else that wasn't covered by that list.
That's the most incredible thing, too. They went like, if it's miscellaneous, it's still discounted.
It's funny. Some years back, I bought a bunch of pro wrestling tees, and I did not realize I bought so many that they actually came in an Andre box. Like
Right.
I actually got a box, not the bag that you usually get, and I
Classic.
went, wow.
That
Wasn't
works.
expecting that. But yeah, so pro wrestling tees, it's always a great time to stock up on non WWE shirts and stuff like that at this time of the year when they do this insane sale every year.
Yes. And remember, that lasts all the way until the second, which is, of course, Cyber Monday, correct?
Yes. Yes. Cyber
Yeah.
Monday at 1
So
Eastern time.
you're going to want to make sure that's going to be 9 o'clock over on the East Coast. If you're on the West Coast like me, that's 10 a.m. But yeah, get up early. Make sure you use these discounts depending on when you see this, and that's going to be really important.
Yep.
But definitely worth it. Should we go to this next
Yes.
slide because this is a fun one, Anthony?
Yes, for 2 weeks only till December 6th at 1 Eastern time, you can get the Joe Hendry concert version with guitar for 45% off at 1485.
Yep.
Which normally they're over like $25 or whatever. I can't say
Right.
what that is with the X.
Right.
But yeah, I mean Joe
I
Hendry.
think it's 25 or 6.
Yeah, so Joe Henry arguably has had one of his banner year of his career. Face of TNA, face of on NXT for a number of weeks, and also there's a Chase variant with the white shirt. But I'll be perfectly honest with you, I think if people are buying it, they want the blue. That's the iconic.
Not to mention, though, at the same time, I do think that this is a very cool move when it comes to a sale like this.
Yep.
If you look at that graphic down there in the corner, it is 100 at random will receive the Chase variant. And yes, while the
Yes.
blue one's iconic, it is always a cool feeling to get a Chase variant,
Yes.
right? As a guy that collected them as a kid,
Yeah.
you show up at the Toys R Us or Target or wherever
Yeah.
you are. You're with your parents. You're going through the aisle. All of a sudden,
Yeah.
you see the green trunks and not the purple ones on your favorite star, and it's just cool. The Chase variant thing, the
It
organically getting it in this situation. To your point, yes, if you're
Yeah.
going out and seeking it,
Yeah.
you might prefer the iconic blue one,
Yeah.
but to have the opportunity to, oh wait, I actually got the special edition one.
You got the
I
variant.
think that's a cool offer, and I think that's a cool way to go about it.
It's always funny when you're able to get something rare. It pops you even more as a collector because I remember
Yes.
as a kid there were certain figures that I wanted, and it was always fun when the person at Toys R Us would go in the back and they would take out the box and open it in front of you,
Oh, it's the greatest.
and they tell you that the figure you want is the only one in the box. Like they only pack one in every box, so that pops you even more because you not only got the one you wanted, but very few people are going to be able to get this figure.
I have to give a special shout out to my father, my dad, when I really started getting into collecting figures as a kid. He'd give me kind of incentives, and then I could go on a trip to get
Yeah.
one.
Mhm.
And especially during the summertime, he had gone out of his way and found out from the manager of the local Toys R Us
Mhm.
that the figure shipments came in at 6 a.m. Thursday morning.
Yeah.
So we'd show up at opening to get that.
Yes.
Let's open the box of these and see what's in
Yeah.
here.
Mhm.
And oh man, there is nothing like that. I got to give my dad a
Yes.
shout out for that one. It was just, special moments as a kid growing
Oh,
up.
absolutely.
But
And
let's
you
move on.
still remember it. That's
Yeah,
the great part. Yeah.
precisely. Let's move on to our next
Yep.
one. Speaking of sales, ooh, wait, we need to
Yes.
do the
Yep.
different
There you go.
angle. Thank you, Anthony.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So this is just a general graphic. A number of WWE and AEW figures are on sale at Amazon right now. This is just a small sample of the ones that are available. Obviously, you can get a version of the WWE Championship for only $13. There's Rey Mysterio with the Low Rider for $23.99. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that $9.50 Chris Jericho may be the one that you have, Clark.
I do believe it is the same one that
With
I've. It's an
with
Amazon exclusive. I can't believe
Yep.
there's still some left. It's a great figure. I
Yeah.
do have this one in my collection. It is a very good little bit of the bubbly Jericho figure. It's got some good stuff.
Yeah. Obviously, there's a Rhea Ripley there for 12. We
Let me
will be
zoom back in on these.
getting to this one, the Undertaker Gobbledygooker 2-pack, which is a Survivor Series 1990 legendary one that was an Amazon exclusive at one time. I don't know if it still is. It's an Ultimate Edition. There's obviously a Rick Rude for $6, Funko Pop, and probably one of our favorites, the Shawn Michaels return match against Triple H at SummerSlam 2002.
Yes.
That Funko is for $20. Very cool representation of a very iconic match.
Right.
We didn't know whether or not Shawn was coming back for one match or multiples. Obviously, he went on a run. But if this was his last match, it was fitting. It was vintage Shawn Michaels at his best. But let's get into.
I will say before that though,
Yep.
the $12 kids WWE title belt is just a steal. I mean, I had the majority of those as a kid myself.
Yep.
Great Halloween accessories. $12 to get a WWE title like that is absolutely worth it. I think honestly, that one is.
I mean, listen, I believe that says 22, so it's like more than half off. It's a very cool thing for kids to have a title belt. Obviously, it's much cheaper than the real ones. But the next one is so this is the Undertaker Gobbledygooker 2-pack. The history with this is WWE had this egg, and they were like, who's in the egg? And Undertaker famously said that he was concerned. He knew he was making his debut at the Survivor Series. He was afraid they were going to put him in the egg, which is kind of funny. The Gobbledygooker figure was teased at one time, was not made. It was finally made here in this infamous 2-pack. And for those that don't know, the man behind the Gooker costume, at that Survivor Series was WWE Hall of Famer's brother, Eddie Guerrero's brother, Hector, was the original Gobbledygooker. And he danced to, I believe, Tutti Frutti with the Mean Gene Okerlund, if I'm not mistaken.
Sir, he did.
And this is vintage original Undertaker, black gloves, the Western style hat, the tie. If you don't have a Western style original OG Undertaker, this is a great figure to have in your collection, I would think.
100%. It's a great Undertaker figure, but I mean the fact that you get the egg.
Yes,
that's what counts to me. You get the egg,
and you could display the Gobbledygooker coming out of the egg, which is the iconic moment from that infamous segment.
I mean, just a ridiculous segment, no doubt about it.
Now back to sales. This is
I'm gonna zoom in so everyone can see it. But go ahead, Anthony.
Yes. Our friends at Zombie Sailor, we've covered them a bunch. They have a Herc and Roma 2-pack for $70. That's one of only 1,500, thus the higher price. As you can see, they have the Raven, King Kong Bundy, and Andre the Giant back in stock. That was from, I believe, Series 2 of their Heels and Faces. You can get Slick for $24.99. You have Jack Tunney and One Man Gang back in stock. And you also have the bloody Matt Cardona from GCW, amongst other things that they have that are on sale or back in stock that are definitely worth checking out. Zombie Sailor puts a lot of effort in their figures, and it shows. The Raven, by the way, I believe it's a leather jacket, and I believe it does have a working zipper. I don't have it, but
working zipper.
I believe the zipper works.
That is, by the way, honestly, I've seen some accessories on some wrestling figures and whatnot. Working zipper is not one you see often.
I am pretty sure it does work. I don't own it, but I thought I remember hearing that you could.
That's pretty hysterical, to be honest. No, I gotta give you credit there. That is a good eye. If that's got a working zipper, that might be worth the buy for that alone. It's just hilarious. I mean, I don't know if I've actually ever seen that on a figure.
I'm pretty sure it does.
Buttons, and I've seen it where like there's a display zipper and there's snaps.
Yeah.
Right, but I've never seen like you can zip it with like a mini zipper.
I mean, listen, if you ever been frustrated zipping a jacket, can you imagine how small that zipper is? How frustrating that? Yeah.
Catch a piece of cloth. Oh, it's so funny.
You gotta like thread a needle to get it up. Like, I don't know what you do. But speaking of sales,
Ringside Collectibles.
Ringside Collectibles. They're doing free shipping at $60 and up. That was a lot lower back in a few years ago, I feel.
Yeah.
They're an additional 5% off for holiday on top of the discount to begin with. So yeah, I mean, and as far as places to go to for wrestling figures, Ringside is probably one of the best because they typically get them before everyone else. So
if there's a figure that you have your eye on that you want to go out of your way to get, Ringside Collectibles, I think, is the most direct route to be sure that you get your hands on the one you're looking for.
And the exclusives that they do. Obviously, within the past week, I got the Tony Storm exclusive and the Money in the Bank Ultimate Punk. Both came this week. So yeah, they're sending stuff out Ringside.
Perfect. Right, and then help me out on the angle here. Where's the other one?
Here we go.
There it is.
All right. So this is just
zoom into just so everyone can see why.
Yeah, we just wanted to show some of the ones that are on sale. You can get the Lights Out Britt Baker for $19. Same thing with the Thunder Rosa that goes with her. Wheeler Yuta, another $19. That Tony D, which I do have, is $16. It's the first time he's in line. The jacket is cloth, and it's very much Don Tony. On the other side, you got an $8 MJF. I don't think you can get better than $8 for an MJF with scarf. You can get the AEW, I believe that's the tag title, for $10,
which is unbelievable too. By the way, you can get 2 title belts for less than $25.
Yeah.
Different websites, but still.
Yeah. So there's an Alistair or Malachi Black for $12.49. You can get the whole entrance stage for $25. Not bad at all. That's an Andre the Giant.
So I will say about the AEW stage, I got it for my the Banished children, the Banished triplets, my friend Paul's kids. And they set it up. I got it in a long time ago, and then when I went to visit, it was set up, and it looks great. It looks really cool.
It's massive, is it not?
It's very big, yes. The only thing I would say is for durability, it's not necessarily off the like if you're going to play with it really hard.
Yeah,
if you're going to play with it really hard, that's probably not the choice. But if at least my friends, the triplets, they generally just use the stage for the playing aspect.
Yeah.
And if you avoid that, the cardboard just looks beautiful and stays in place and does what it's supposed to. It is a very cool accessory to have if you're trying to have a full setup. If you've got the ring, if you've got all that stuff, you can do some really cool things with it.
Yeah,
and it was one of those gifts that I wasn't sure that they would appreciate given
Yeah.
the age and whatnot,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Most of us listening to the show are adults, and you get to a
Yes.
certain age, you're like, I don't know. Are they too old for this? Are they too young? Do they like
Yeah.
these kind of toys? They are fans of wrestling, and this one was a hit. It got set up and it stayed up since I gave it as a gift, right?
All right. So some more. You could see this I find fascinating. They had released the Three Faces of Foley in a set. You could get the Three Faces of Foley, but I love the fact that there's like $1 difference between them. Mankind is 18, Cactus Jack is 17, Dude Love is 16. I find that fascinating that there's 3 different prices for the Three Faces
I wonder
of
if
Foley.
that was like an inside
Intentional?
joke.
I
Honest
think,
to goodness,
I think so.
if that was an inside joke, like that was their way of ranking the Faces of Foley's. That's what I would like to believe.
Yeah. This is another great thing. There is another Jericho for $7.49. You can really stack up with the Jerichos.
You can get like every iteration.
Clark's personal favorite, Stardust, for only $17.49. There's a Trish for $13. An Ultimate Edition, I believe Triple H for $28.
Is that Jim Ross for $7.49?
Are you talking about the middle one?
Yeah, down there.
That's Jericho.
In the suit?
Yes, with the tie.
Cassidy? Oh, no. Okay, that is Jericho.
Yeah, so the interesting one is at the top. This may be the steal of steals. That is a set of 6 for the AEW Unrivaled, $37.99 for all 6 figures.
It's worth every dollar.
Yeah. And then there's another one for $7. I'm not sure who that is. But again,
which one's the
tag team one next to Andre?
Oh, that is a good question. Actually, well, can we zoom in? Hang on.
See if you can zoom. Yeah, I'd have to go back.
It looks like the Bucks, to be honest.
It could be the Bucks. It could very well be
the Bucks.
Yeah, it could be the Bucks. But yeah, so that's another great set. And then Clark, that is the one that you have with all the shirts for $12. That's the one you have. There's another Jericho.
This is the one. You're exactly correct. The one with the 2 different jackets is the one that I have from Amazon, ironically, and it was originally an Amazon exclusive, but it's funny that now you can get it on Ringside Collectibles, but it's not the one that's on sale on Amazon.
Yeah. There's a Sammy Guevara for $9. The Sheeta that you got autographed for sold for $6.
Unbelievable.
There's a Jake Hager for $4. You can, another Jericho for $8 with title.
I'll tell you what, I have the Jurassic Express one myself. It is a great figure. The fact that this is on here and still available, go get it because we're probably never going to get another one again. It doesn't look like they're going to be teaming together ever again.
So and that's $25. Not bad at all.
This $25 for the chase. It was 20. It was 21 for the regular one.
Yeah. So this one is interesting. I wanted to feature it anyway because this is Boss Fight Studios, which makes the MLW figures. Obviously, there's the sale going on with the figures and the ring, which it's kind of interesting when you look at it. Of the 4 figures, I believe Kruger is the only one still there carrying crosses in WWE. So is Jacob Fatu and Hammerstone's in TNA.
I'm kidding.
Killer Cross on social. He's still real. Cross, which
exists.
But this is a nice, cool set. For somebody that's in the MLW, or just if you wanted to just get a set that included a ring for a kid that was just starting out with wrestling. They got 4 figures to play with and a ring and accessories. So it's really kind of a cool set. Speaking of Cross, though, I do want to point this out. As he put on social media, he had a negotiation with Santa, who he had some issues with. He wanted a Turbo Man, and Santa did not provide it to him years ago. So he did get very heated about it and had to be held back by Scarlett.
My father had a very similar situation with Mr. Kringle himself when he was growing up. Famously, asked for a rubber canoe, did not get one. Not a rubber canoe. Nope.
Of what age was this, Clark?
It's like 8.
Okay.
But he all year long asked for a rubber canoe. That's all he wanted. They had the
Yeah.
little creek by his house. He was gonna go
Yeah.
ride around in that thing.
I
And apparently there was some sort of snafu up at the North Pole,
Mhm.
and maybe they didn't get his letters.
Yeah.
And he ended up rubber canoeless
Mhm.
for the length of his life.
Yeah.
So ironically, to this day, any opportunity to go kayaking,
Mhm.
he'll dive on.
Okay.
You barely walk to the pantry to get
Yeah.
to get another cup of coffee, but I'll tell you what, if there's an opportunity to get in any canoe, rubber,
Any
plastic,
any floating
a
vehicle.
canoe of any
Yeah,
type, yeah,
yes.
like he'll get in a gondola
Yeah.
if
I
that's
mean,
what it takes.
I remember this, and I told Clark this. I remember as a kid, I don't remember what age I was. I had to be 4 or 5, whatever I was. I remember I asked for a Ninja Turtles vehicle, and I didn't get it. And I remember saying to Santa the next year, "You didn't bring me what I wanted," and I did get it that year. Santa remembered that year. Was able to track it down.
Santa remembered. He figured it out.
Yes, he got the note. But in all seriousness, not being greedy or anything, that it is the time of giving. So we wanted to end this on the note. Major Wrestling Figure Podcast, who kind of set the template for this type of show, is doing their annual toy drive to
Yes.
For children
It's a
in
great
need.
cause too.
And I believe you can buy directly from Ringside Collectibles, and they
And
will
donate.
ship the items directly
Yes.
to the major podcast for the collection. And this is
Yeah,
going
if
on
you can
from
see that flyer easier, maybe there.
Yeah.
Nah, not really, but
from
either way.
from November 8th to December 9th. This is on their social medias. So you can view it. It's on their
So
Instagram
you
page.
got a week from Monday the
Yes.
2nd. You got a week to donate, and it's an amazing cause. Make
Yeah.
you feel good. No better time than the holidays too
Yep.
to help out. And I mean, as lifelong collectors ourselves and kids that grew up playing with action figures, most
Mhm.
importantly, this is what it's about.
Yes.
And monster shout out to the major wrestling podcast or major figure podcast.
Yeah.
And it just an awesome cause. I've already got my donation in, but that's neither here nor there. Highly recommend.
Yep.
We both
Absolutely.
stand by this. It's just an awesome cause and really cool to see two guys that have done a lot for the collecting community and figure community really truly give back in a way what the whole thing's built on, right? We love collecting, we love talking about the figures, but this is about the big smile on the kid's face.
And if you're doing it now during the Black Friday sale, you can get more bang for your buck in this donation. The kids can get a lot more stuff because the stuff's on sale.
Right. You can give a real good donation and get your karma for the December holiday season. Absolutely. But I do think that brings us to the end of the show, doesn't it, Anthony?
Yes, it does.
Thank you so much, everybody that tuned in. Like and subscribe if you already haven't. On behalf of me and Anthony, we will talk to you very, very soon. Check out all the other episodes of Sold Separately, but also donate. This is a very cool cause. Please do. If you've got the means, go for it. If you don't, understand, but absolutely go for it. And thank you for tuning in. We'll see everybody soon, and happy holidays from everyone here at WR.